Hi everyone and welcome to today's reading. So today we are asking cards, what should you focus on? What should be the main focus in your life right now? And what demands your attention? So we have 3 piles for you to choose from. This is going to be pile number 1. This is going to be pile number 2. And this is going to be pile number 3. Please take your time, meditate on the cards, and I'll see you at your pile. Hi everyone, for those of you who chose pile number 1 or this card of Kurt Cobain, this is going to be your reading. So we are asking cards today, what should you focus on? What should be the main focus in your life at the moment? So I just want to pull one oracle card to begin this reading with, to see what comes through. So what should pile number 1 be focused on at the moment? What should pile number 1 be focused at the moment? We have your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. Okay. One more card. What should pile number 1 focus on? Your hard work is paying off. Yeah, new moon in Capricorn. Okay, so immediately I'm getting a message here that you've been either doing on something, on a goal for quite some time, and you've been feeling very tired and very drained, and you maybe started questioning if what you want to achieve is going to come, to fruition, if your hard work is going to pay off. And the cards are immediately saying that you should persist. The goal that you set for yourself is going to be achieved. You just need to practice some diligence and discipline. I know this is very hard, especially if you've been already very disciplined and very, very diligent and hardworking. I want you to know, cards want you to know that it's very important to persist. Keep doing what you're doing. Your goal is going to come true. If you've been focused, if you've been experiencing some obstacles, the cards are trying to say that you should not focus on those obstacles. Instead, shift your focus to what you want to achieve. Your mind is extremely powerful and you know that. So please focus on what you want to achieve. Every journey has some obstacles, right? This is not a proof of your inability to achieve, If you're facing obstacles, that's just a chance for you to, maybe revise your strategy, maybe find a little different approach, or maybe to just remind yourself that no matter what happens, you have the power to achieve what you want to achieve. This is for people who are working very hard. Maybe you feel very discouraged, maybe you feel as if no matter how hard you work, nothing comes true, nothing pays off. And that's simply not true. Behind the scenes, everything counts. Even though you can't see the results of your hard work at the moment, it doesn't mean that these results are not going to come in the future. So please, I want you to not be so harsh on yourself. Cards are very specifically highlighting that you're focused at the moment on things you lack. You're focused on the obstacles. I know it's extremely frustrating to, face blockages, especially when you really care about achieving something. This can be literally anything. This can be a career goal. This can be something to do with your hobby. This can be something to do, with your appearance, your relationships, literally anything. I really want you to know that try to focus on a few things. Number 1, try to focus on what you've achieved so far. And number 2, try to keep a positive mind frame. That's not always so easy. I know that. But, be a little more gentle with yourself. I think what cards are wanting to say here is that you're being harsh on yourself and you're allowing yourself to maybe slip into negative mindset, which is completely okay. I don't blame you. It's very difficult to stay optimistic when you've been, faced with so many obstacles. Okay. So please, take your time to reassess, first what you've achieved so far and give yourself the credit for what you achieved, because I don't think this is a lazy pile. You know, this is a pile for hard workers who maybe had to experience some hardships in life, and you had the strength to persevere and come on top every time. And this is going to be true even now. You know, no matter how complex your obstacles seem at the moment, you will surmount them. You will come on top. Just keep pushing. I know really this doesn't sound that encouraging, but I think the universe is trying to tell you that your hard work will not be in vain, you know? It will not go unnoticed. Maybe you're facing some obstacles at the moment, but you know, life is a wheel of fortune. Sometimes you really have to be on the bottom and experience some hardships so that you can, you know, come on top stronger, much wiser, and with much better strategy on how to deal with things, right? Also, another message, if you've been really struggling, this can also be the case. Like if you've been really trying, let's say maybe to apply for jobs and you've been rejected all the time. Maybe you wanted to create a business and you've been failing all the time. Just keep pushing. You know, what you're doing is teaching you something, and you know, you have to believe that everything you do at the moment will pay off in one form or another, okay? Because this card here tells me that, you know, your commitment is being tested. The universe is, I'm not going to say is testing you or end your commitment, but the main focus here is don't give up. Your focus should be on not giving up, no matter how hard things are. You know, the most successful people, like athletes or musicians, they did not give up on their dream. You know, we only see the beautiful picture. We only see their success, but we never see the struggle behind that success. And I don't think people see your struggle. You know, maybe you feel alone in your struggles, but the universe is saying to you that it sees everything. You know, the higher force sees everything, and everything will pay off. Just keep pushing and be diligent, okay? So I just want to pull some tarot cards to get more information on what you should be focused on at the moment. So what should pile number one be focused right now? What should pile number one be focused on? Four of Cups, absolutely. Again, we also have this, I'm not going to say lack mentality, because that sounds like I'm blaming you. We all, you know, go through those periods in life. It's just that for some reason, I think you're not really seeing your value. You're not seeing your hard work. You're not giving yourself the credit, you know? I think you should focus on the things you have achieved, on the things you are trying to improve. You know, it's not like if you have a goal, no matter what this is, sometimes, you know, for some people, it's a little harder because we don't come from different backgrounds. Some people have more help than others, right? What you should focus on now is on what you have. It's almost like that cliche thing people keep repeating, like gratitude mindset. What you do have now, you know, even if everything seems so gray, maybe this is a very heavy reading. If everything seems gray, there's always something, at least something that brings you some joy, you know. And I think you are overlooking all the positive qualities that you have. You're overlooking your hard work. And you may feel very frustrated that things are not coming together for you. Some of you feel like you are behind in life, which is just not true, you know? You have your own timeline. You come from a very specific place. You have a specific past and you have a specific personality, you know? You're extremely hardworking and you're somehow not seeing it. Or you know that you're hardworking, but you really need something to confirm that. You really need to see the results now. And the universe is telling you, you need to be patient. Just be patient. I really see here that you're trying so much. Like, give yourself the credit for that, okay? Let's see what should you focus on. If there is some other message maybe coming through. What should pile number one focus on? What should pile number one focus on? We have the Knight of Cups. What should you focus on? The Star, absolutely, yes. And the Chariot. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have Seven of Cups. So what should you focus on, pile number one? I think one thing that can help you at this time is don't stop dreaming. Like, even if things seem rough on the outside, I'm not sure if you can see this. Let's push like this, okay? Even if things seem complicated on the outside, even if you're facing obstacles, keep a positive outlook and have faith, you know? I think, you know, sometimes when people lose faith, it's very difficult to encourage them. But I think you have the power to encourage yourself. I mean, you've been through so much in life and you came on top. What I think maybe you should do here also is you should focus on revising your approach to how you want to achieve something. I think you have more options than you realize. Maybe you have hit a roadblock and you don't know where to go, where to go to from here. And the cards are telling you it's very important to listen to your intuition, because listen, here you have 7 choices. And here you have one knight that took 1 cup and is going forward with the choice they made, right? So, you know, envision what you want to achieve and stick to that vision, and then take action accordingly. Don't be discouraged, okay? Don't be discouraged, because I think things are coming for you. Things are coming together even though you don't see them. What you should focus on right now is A, hope. 2, things you already achieved, because I know you achieved a lot. 3, revising your strategy for going forward. And 4, or what I was saying, I forgot. Or 4, choosing an option that resonates with you. Don't go for the option that people are telling you is the best option. Choose the option that resonates with you and your unique path, you know? Maybe something that worked for someone else won't work for you. Maybe you need a different approach. Listen to your intuition. You know precisely what's right thing to do. You know exactly what you need to do deep down. Just take a moment and don't put too much pressure on yourself, and don't put too much pressure on seeing the results right now, because results will come. You just need to give yourself some time and some space to rest, recuperate, and, you know, to give yourself a little pep talk, you know? Like, don't try to, it's almost like, you know, Kurt Cobain, he was extremely talented. He is a musical icon. I really love him. But for him, no matter how much success he achieved, there was always something inside him that, you know, you can feel it in his music. There's heaviness there. There's a lot of heaviness there, you know? Try to look at your talents, because I think this is a pile where people are very talented and gifted and hardworking. Focus on what you have. Focus on your skills, talents, opportunities, abilities. Focus on what you have power over. You know, you can't control your blockages. They will be there. But what you can do is make some, you know, tiny steps to try to improve your situation when you're ready, when you're rested. Sometimes it's very important to, you know, just look back and evaluate how far you've come, and not be so critical of yourself. And then evaluate your strategy and slowly move forward without expecting too much. Like, try to release your expectations of when you should achieve something. Your timeline is unknown. Only the universe knows where you're going. You need to trust that you're on the right path, because I think you are, and simply keep going forward. You know, listen to your intuition, because I know deep down you know that what you're doing will succeed. It's just that you're frustrated that results are not coming, you know, yet. So focus on the good things. Focus on yourself, on your good qualities, because I think you're discrediting all your hard work. And try to encourage yourself a little, because I think you deserve to encourage yourself, you know. This sounded a little weird. I don't know how to frame this sentence better, you know. This reading was a little all over the place. I really hope something resonated. Like, I wanted to say here that even though your commitment is being tested, you are on the right track. Results will come. Focus on your vision. Focus on your good qualities. Focus on the things you have. And from there, evaluate the situation, listen to your intuition, and then take the road that resonates with you, not with someone else. Your path to success is your unique path, and it will all come true. Just have faith in yourself, okay? Thank you for coming to this reading. I hope it resonated. It was maybe a little all over the place. I hope at least you could get some message. If not, you know, let it fly. You know yourself the best. And yeah, thank you for being here, and I hope I see you soon. Bye. So, hi everyone. For those of you who chose pile number 2 or Freddie Mercury, this is going to be your reading. So we're asking cards and the spirit, what should you focus on at the moment? What should be the main focus right now? So let's see what oracle cards have for you first. What should pile number 2 focus on? What should pile number 2 focus on? Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. One more, please. What should pile number 2 focus on? And we have faith in your dreams. Okay. What should pile number 2 focus on? I think this pile has to do with being authentic. And this is going to be, especially, it's going to resonate with you, especially if you're very young, like in your teens or early 20s, but it can resonate anytime. What I see here is you've maybe been a person who tried to people please all the time, to make other people feel comfortable, to make other people feel good, to, you know, you really wanted to be liked and you wanted to fit in, and you maybe wanted to, you know, yeah, just be liked and appreciated. And I think there's something shifting in you where you are realizing that maybe, you know, people you've been dealing with or people you wanted to belong to aren't your people, and that the identity you have built for yourself may not be your truest self. I think something is calling you to really look deep within and ask yourself who you really are. Do you really like the things you think you like? Do you really like the people you think you like? Because if this pile resonates with you, I think you are feeling a little maybe detached, maybe disconnected from people in the world around you. And this is because I think your true self is trying to emerge. This is not like, don't think this is about not having identity. You know, we all have identity. It's just that I think something inside you is changing so that you can really, really, really step into your power and, you know, embrace who you truly are. With your flaws, with the flaws that you think you have, with your virtues, with your, you know, all aspects of yourself. I think you're coming to terms with who you are, and you're learning to be comfortable in your skin. I think what you should focus on here is exactly that. Like, if you had nudges that something feels off, that something is out of alignment with who you are, you should, I think, listen to that. Because, you know, some higher force is trying to guide you, to help you understand who you actually are. And maybe, you know, recently you had some instances, maybe with long-term friends, maybe with something that you've been doing for a very long time, where you realize this doesn't resonate with you anymore, and there's something better, you know, ahead of you. You just need to discover what. I think what you should focus on here is getting to know yourself on a deeper level. It's not like you didn't do this. It's not like you haven't been doing this all along. It's just that if you're called to, journal or, do some techniques that help you better understand yourself, absolutely go for it. Because I think your confidence is growing. I think, you know what, for some of you, I think maybe you're really coming to terms with some parts of yourself that you've been rejecting for a very long time. And it's maybe frightening, but it's also, I think, empowering. It depends on where you're at on your journey. If you didn't like something about yourself, this can be a physical flaw, this can be a mental thing, this can be your personality trait. I think you're actually coming to terms with who you authentically are. And it's a little uncomfortable because this also asks for you to let go of some things that made you feel comfortable for a very long time. It's almost like, you are not average. You are not someone who fits into trends. You're much more than that. What you should focus here is, I think, your bravery on building courage to be yourself. Because I think, as I said previously, something is nudging you to do that. Something is pushing you to actually do that. Because I think even though it may feel a little uncomfortable and this is an unexplored territory for you, you're on the right track to being exactly who you're meant to be, okay? Focus on things that make you feel good. For some of you, this is going to be related to setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is a little uncomfortable, especially if you never did that before, and you're going to face a lot of opposition, right? What the universe is trying to tell you here, focus on setting boundaries and doing what feels right for you, Focus on that. This is exactly where you need to be. Even if other people are trying to make you feel guilty or, try to make you paint you as a bad person, don't trust them. Do what feels right. Do what feels right. You're on the right track, okay? So let's just pull tarot cards to see more about what should pile number 2 focus on. What should you focus on? This one wants to, okay. Yeah, I think, you know what? I think this has something to do, I mentioned this previously, this has something to do with the flaw, something you were very insecure about. And I think you should focus, let's just rephrase it like this. The universe is pushing you to embrace parts of yourself that you rejected. As I said, this card really confirms this because, you're maybe at a stage in your life where life feels a little chaotic and you're in the unknown territory, and you're really you're learning, actually, through some maybe uncomfortable situations, you're learning who you are and what feels right to you. For example, maybe you thought you really liked I don't know, skiing. That's I don't know why I have this example. Maybe you liked skiing because everyone else liked skiing and you liked skiing for a while. And it was an acceptable thing to do. But somehow you are now, coming to a realization that you're actually not a sporty person at all. You're actually maybe an artistic person. Maybe your unique expression is completely something different. And it's uncomfortable to let go of the old self, especially if you have a whole community built around it. Especially if you have, if that thing you're letting go of is your, how do I say this? Your comfort zone, right? Let's see what pile number 2 is releasing. What is pile number 2 releasing? What is pile number 2 releasing? 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, and 10 of Wands. Yeah, you know what? This has definitely something to do with self-image. This has definitely something to do with, maybe wearing a mask, people pleasing, wanting to be everything for everyone, wanting to be liked by everyone, wanting to be, the best friend for everyone, wanting to, meet everyone's standards. You're, I think, learning at the moment to really, sorry, my phone is ringing, just a second. You're really learning to, you've been pushed into situations where you either feel like an alien, you may feel rejected, you may feel like you don't belong there, you may feel odd, you may feel dissociated, but something inside you is shifting, and you're dropping the burden of trying to portray an image of yourself that doesn't align with who you are. You're releasing, at the moment you're releasing your old self, you're shedding old skin, you're transforming, and this is an uncomfortable process because you're doing something you've never done before. And what I think the universe wants you to focus here actually is on embracing the process, embracing I think you're exactly where you're meant to be, even though it feels a little uncomfortable. Whatever is happening in your life is teaching you a few things. It's teaching you self-confidence, it's teaching you authenticity, and it's teaching you bravery. It's teaching you to be brave, to stand up and be who you are, no matter what other people say. I think you're gonna come on top of this completely transformed. I really think you tried all your life to be everything for everyone. You really tried. But I think you reached the point when you realize that, you're asking yourself, what universe wants you to focus on is to ask yourself a question: what makes you happy? What makes you happy? Who you are? What do you actually want? When no one is looking, what do you actually want? That's the question I think the universe is highlighting here. I think you have a lot of vibrancy and a lot of potential that's maybe, you're tapped into it, but maybe on the surface. I think you have no idea how powerful you are. I think you have no idea who you're going to become. Like the person, we all change, it's all the time, right? But I think in this specific case, your transformation is going to be drastic. I think you're going to really, you're going to stop caring about what other people think. And the universe wants you to focus on introspection and, looking really within and asking yourself who you are. What clothes do you want to wear? What music do you really like? What type of people do you really like? Maybe you like something that's out of the ordinary. Maybe you like something that people disapprove of, but it resonates with you. I think the universe wants you to focus on that, on exploring that, on getting to know yourself. This is a very empowering energy. I think, this is a new cycle that's coming for you. And I think by the end of it, once the cycle is full and complete, you'll come out completely transformed. People are going to gravitate towards you because you had the courage to be yourself. If this resonates with you, just, know that you're on the right track. I think this reading is more of a confirmation that you're on the right track, and it's just nudging you to really do some journal prompts, to do some introspection, to really become friends with yourself and really treat yourself as a friend and get to know yourself as someone you really care about. Okay, so yeah, pile number 2, this was your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope you got a message from this. If not, please just let it fly. I wish you a great day, and yeah, I hope I see you soon. Bye. Hi everyone, for those of you who chose pile number 3 and Madonna, this card here, this is going to be your reading. So I already shuffled these cards, and when I first pulled them, I really had to sit with them a little, because the message that came through wasn't so clear, but I'll try my best to explain what I'm getting here. I think for people who belong in this group, you've been either overly focused on your material world and, building something for yourself, and you've been completely cut off from your emotional self, or you've been living in your head a lot, you've been daydreaming a lot, you have been, you know, introspective, you have been isolated, trying to practice spirituality, trying to work on yourself, trying to connect, let's say, with your higher self. And this is great. Neither of these two are bad things. But what I think is happening here is that you are neglecting the other. So for example, if you've been focused on the material world and working really, really hard, and focused, and you've been focused on results and practical matters and finances and things like that, you may have neglected your emotional and spiritual well-being. You have maybe neglected your, your more sensitive side, your emotional heart, your emotional self, your heart space. But I think for majority of you, you have been very much into this introspective mode. You're a very spiritual people, and you're very much in tune with your emotions, and you have great ideas, but I think you're not, I'm not going to say doing what you need to do. That sounds very harsh, but I don't think you have been working on your material world as much. Like, you've been living maybe even isolated in your head, and you've been completely content with that. But I think it's time to step out of that that stage and really, try to make some tangible results in the physical world. I think this is for people who have very strong manifestation abilities. You are great. You've been visualizing, you've been planning, you've been daydreaming, you've been connecting with yourself, getting to know yourself. But I think it's time for you to actually start to apply that, what you've learned, into practice. For example, if you've been learning how to be better in relationships, maybe you've been learning about your attachment style. Maybe you have learned a lot about how you should handle difficult situations. Maybe you learned a lot about how you should set boundaries, and you know that in theory, you know how that should feel. But I think it's time for you to actually step out of that mental state, that emotional, intuitive state, and try to apply what you've learned, try to apply that spiritual knowledge into the 3D, What I think the universe is trying to tell you here is it's time to focus on materializing what you've learned. It's time to start focusing on making those little steps, to achieve what you've visualized, I think if you've been manifesting something, your manifestations will come for sure. But what you need to do is you have to, start laying foundations for that. It's not like you haven't been doing that, but the universe is telling you, like, if you find yourself daydreaming too much, but not doing enough in the physical world, focus on that, focus on that. Try to focus on taking little tangible steps towards your goals every day without losing your vision in sight. I think this group just needs a little balance of, emotional, spiritual, and physical or mental, if it resonates the other way around, you can just flip it. But the message here is focus on either of the two. If you've been doing this too much, focus on the physical. If you've been too much stuck in the physical, in building your status, career, finances, anything like that, focus on your spiritual self. Focus on self-nourishment. If you've been too much outside, giving your energy to people, doing the mundane stuff, maybe it's time to, retreat inside and, connect with yourself and see where you want to go from there, So yeah, this was your reading. This was a very short one. But, yeah, this is what's coming through. If you've been too focused on the physical, just take good care of yourself. Do some pampering, do some self-care practices, and shift your focus. Okay? Either of the two. So yeah, pile number 3, this was your message. It was a little short, but I hope it resonated. Let me know in the comments if it did. If not, just let it fly and have a great day regardless, okay? So yeah, thank you for coming here. I hope I see you soon. Bye.